What if I told you that there's a way to become completely undefeatable? Not through superhuman strength or magical powers, but through something far more powerful. We're diving deep into the ancient philosophy of Stoicism and discovering how it can transform you into someone who cannot be broken, defeated, or destroyed by life's challenges. The Stoics weren't just philosophers sitting in ivory towers. They were warriors, emperors, and slaves who faced real battles, real suffering, and real hardship. Yet they developed a mindset so powerful that nothing could truly defeat them. So grab a notebook, because this is going to change everything. The secret to becoming undefeatable lies in understanding one fundamental truth that the Stoics discovered over 2,000 years ago. You cannot control what happens to you, but you have absolute control over how you respond. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled the Roman Empire at its peak, wrote in his personal journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Think about that for a moment. The most powerful man in the world understood that his true power didn't come from his armies or his wealth. It came from his ability to control his thoughts and reactions. This is the first pillar of becoming undefeatable. When you truly internalize this principle, you realize that no external force can actually defeat you. They can hurt your body, take your possessions, even threaten your life, but they cannot touch your inner citadel, your mind, unless you let them. Epictetus, who was born a slave and knew real suffering, taught this same principle. He said, "No one can hurt you without your permission." This isn't about denying pain or pretending bad things don't happen. It's about recognizing where your true power lies, in your response, your interpretation, and your choices. Let's get practical. The Stoics developed what they called the dichotomy of control, the ability to clearly distinguish between what's up to you and what's not up to you. What's not up to you? Other people's actions, the weather, the economy, natural disasters, aging, illness, and death. What is up to you? Your thoughts, your judgments, your decisions, your actions, and your responses. Here's how this makes you undefeatable. When you stop wasting energy trying to control the uncontrollable, you can focus all your power on what you actually can control. The undefeatable person doesn't rage at the traffic. That's not up to them. This simple shift in focus is like having a superpower. While others exhaust themselves fighting reality, you conserve your energy and direct it where it can actually make a difference. The Stoics believe that our suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our judgments about those events. This is revolutionary because it means you can change your experience of life by changing how you think about it. How many times have you tortured yourself with worry about something that never happened, or made a situation worse by catastrophizing about it? The undefeatable person practices what the Stoics called the discipline of desire. They train themselves to want what happens, rather than demanding that what they want must happen. This doesn't mean becoming passive. Here's a Stoic practice that sounds counterintuitive but is incredibly powerful. Regularly imagining losing everything you have, the Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, or negative visualization. They would spend time each day imagining the loss of their health, wealth, loved ones, or status. This wasn't about being pessimistic or manifesting bad things. It was about building psychological resilience and appreciating what they had while they had it. When you regularly contemplate loss, two amazing things happen. First, you become genuinely grateful for what you have right now. Second, if loss actually occurs, you're mentally prepared and less likely to be devastated. Try this exercise. Spend 5 minutes imagining losing your most prized possession, your job, or even your health. Feel the emotions that come up. Then open your eyes and notice how much more grateful you feel for what you actually have. This practice builds what we might call psychological armor. When you've already mentally rehearsed difficulty, real challenges feel more manageable. The Stoics had a phrase that became famous. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This is perhaps the most powerful aspect of becoming undefeatable. Learning to transform every obstacle into fuel for your growth. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to practice virtue, build strength, and become wiser. The question is, will you stay down, or will you use that fall to learn how to wrestle better? When you adopt this mindset, you literally cannot be defeated, because every setback becomes a setup for a comeback. Every failure becomes feedback. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity. Being undefeatable doesn't mean being passive. The Stoics were incredibly action-oriented, but their actions came from a place of wisdom rather than emotion. This means asking yourself before every action, is this the right thing to do? Does this align with my values? Will this make me better or worse? The undefeatable person acts with purpose and intention. They're not reactive, they're responsive. They don't just do things because they feel like it. They do things because they've decided it's the right thing to do. This creates an incredible sense of inner strength and confidence, because you know that your actions are aligned with your deepest values and highest self. Contrary to popular belief, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about not being controlled by them. The Stoics understood that emotions are natural, but they also recognized that we have the power to examine our emotions. Seneca taught a powerful technique. When you feel a strong emotion, pause and ask yourself 3 questions. What is this emotion telling me? Is this emotion based on something I can control? How can I respond to this situation in a way that aligns with my values? This creates space between stimulus and response, the space where freedom lives. In that space, you have the power to choose your reaction rather than being driven by impulse. The undefeatable person feels anger but doesn't act from anger. They feel fear but don't let fear paralyze them. Everything else was indifferent. This might seem extreme, but think about it. Health, wealth, and status can all be taken away from you. But your character, your virtue, your integrity, these can only be given away by choice. When you build your life on virtue rather than external things, you become truly undefeatable, because no one can take away your foundation without your permission. The virtuous person acts with courage when courage is needed, with wisdom when wisdom is required, with justice when justice is called for, and with self-discipline when self-control is necessary. This isn't about being perfect, it's about constantly striving to be better and measuring your success by your character rather than your circumstances. Let's get specific about how to implement these ideas in your daily life. This builds self-awareness and continuous improvement. Practice the pause technique when you feel strong emotions. Take 3 deep breaths and ask yourself what response would make you proud of yourself in a year from now. Keep a lessons learned journal where you write down what each challenge or setback taught you. This rewires your brain to see obstacles as opportunities. Set aside time each week for negative visualization, imagining loss to build appreciation and resilience. When you become undefeatable through Stoic principles, you don't just transform your own life, you inspire everyone around you. People are drawn to those who remain calm in chaos, who find opportunity in adversity, and who respond to challenges with wisdom rather than reactivity. Your unshakable inner strength becomes a beacon for others who are struggling. It makes the world around you stronger too. Becoming undefeatable isn't about never facing challenges or never feeling pain. It's about developing the inner strength and wisdom to handle whatever life throws at you with grace, courage, and virtue. These aren't just ideas to think about, they're tools to use. Start today, start small. Choose one Stoic principle and practice it for a week, then add another. Build your undefeatability one day, one choice, one response at a time. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your undefeatable life starts now. The only question is, are you ready to claim that power? If this video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe for more life-changing philosophy. And remember, you're stronger than you think, wiser than you know, and more capable than you imagine. Stay strong, stay stoic, and stay undefeatable.